Okay, hear me out. I wasn't even planning on covering this. I just saw the meme that's been dead for years, but I still see everywhere.
I'm Julia. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
And I thought, you know what? Let me listen to this song because it is kind of a banger and it's something that I grew up with from my childhood. Walking through the grocery store literally every time my mom dragged me there, sure enough on the radio was Wonderwall. But in classic fashion, I start listening to the song and I realize, you know, this actually has some substance to it and has a couple of unique things about it that might be fun for us to check out. So at risk of beating a dead meme into the ground even further, here's Wonderwall. Gotta admit, fantastic groove. Sitting right there in the pocket. What a classic.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
So there's some interesting things happening here already. Mainly, we're moving the chord around, but there's so many things happening in the guitar. And this is, I feel like, just a natural part of playing the guitar, where it's like if you hold certain things, you can move like roots around. You can change the chord, but you can keep a lot of the strings exactly the same because we're dealing with common tones. Common tones are any time that two different chords share a common tone, right? We can hang on to a note, move the chord around, and the note still works. Those are common tones. And this entire thing is basically full of them. Let's take a look. Could we do it with... I wonder if it's that. I wonder if it's those three notes. So we hear the guitar constantly has that A on the top. That kind of doesn't go anywhere. And then we have a fourth below it, and I think maybe a fourth below it. And if we do that, we can move through these chords. We start with F sharp minor 7 to A, to E sus and B 7 sus. Now the reason that these are sus chords has to do with what that guitar is consistently playing, which is it is not moving from F sharp minor to A major to what we might expect here. It's just E major. Maybe we would expect there a B major chord. We never hear the actual major thirds of those chords. And that's because, let's say, we're going to check it in a second, but let's say we are playing that stacked fourth voicing in the guitar. Watch what happens when we move these bass notes around and we play these chords. Works for all of those because they're all common tones throughout those chords. We have F sharp minor 7, we have the minor third, we have the minor 7, and then we add in, this would be like the fourth in that case. Let me just double check and make sure that that is what we're hearing. Well, it's hard to hear. So those two notes are hanging out the entire time. That's definitely sure. But we might start with simply just 1-5-1 kind of voicing. I do hear on the last two chords, I hear that B in there. So that's definitely in there. So for all intents and purposes, we could consider that guitar as playing these two notes consistently, and then the other ones probably move around a little bit, whether we're repeating, adding the B, whatever we're doing. It's some combination of those things. But still, these are all common tones of all those chords. Let me show you. So F sharp minor 7. Well, we already have the A and the E in the chord. And I didn't hear the B, but even if we did have the B, that still works perfectly fine because it's like the 11 of that chord. Fits in great, right? So that we can consider that a common tone. And then when we move here to the A, well, it's just the 1, the 5, and then even if we were playing that B, it's the 9th. It's perfect. Fits right in. Okay, we go to E. Well, now we're playing. This is this note, top note, that A, is what makes this an E sus chord, because we don't hear E major. We do not hear that major third, right? So sus. Now when we go to the B, we have the 7th, the root, and the 4th, the sus4. That's what makes the B chord a sus4, right? So we can play those 2 notes even if we didn't add the one below or the B. Like, we still get this palette that we can just move through. It's honestly, I think it's pretty beautiful. As simple as it is, like, who cares? It's great.
About you now.
So then right there we get our first change. Our first change in the entire thing from those 4 chords moving around. We go to the D. That's it. We just add that D. And the reason that it's... that's funny. So even if we keep these notes again, that's why it would be an add 9 chord. Because that is the 9th and the 5th. The guitar is so cool like that, isn't it? You can just play 2 notes, play a whole bunch of chords, keep those 2 notes there, and just keep playing them. It works. It sounds great.
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
I love that drum intro. Yikes.
Ow.
Listen to this. So we're going to go back to the top. We start the verse.
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart
But
is
a
out.
measure delayed. Then the drums come in. What is that about? It sounds so great.
I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had it out. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
Oh, interesting. We don't get that D major chord there. We keep going with the same 4 chords the second time around. Whereas at the end of the first verse, we got D add 9. Interesting detail. But now we're going to go into the pre-chorus.
And all the roads we have to walk are winding.
Totally
And all the
common
lights that
pop chord
lead us
progression.
there are blinding.
Yeah. But again, I don't know if we have the thirds. No, that E is still a sus chord, so it's like... We're still keeping that... Sus. It's not major. It's not major, it's sus. To the F sharp minor 7. We just keep doing that, and we have one really nice change in this pre-chorus.
There are many things
It's
that
right here.
I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Because maybe
Okay, I was listening right in that one measure, or the 2 measures rather, in where it says B7 sus 4. I was listening for the 3rd to see if we were going to get... That would make so much sense if we finally got that major 3rd in that chord, but we don't. All right, anyways, let's back up a bar. So we're going around and around and around with this 3-chord build-up thing. But here, finally we get a resolution to the A. This is the first time I think we've gotten an A on a downbeat where it really feels like a resolution, right? Because this is written in A major, unless you were going to call it F sharp minor. Same exact key signature because they're relatives of each other. A major and F sharp minor are relatives. They share the same key signature, same exact note bank. So which is it? I don't know. It starts pretty minor, so maybe we call this F sharp minor. I don't know, but here we get that major resolution. But we're immediately running down. Very simple. And then we land on that B7 sus, and my brain wants to hear it go, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. It's not how it goes.
because maybe
This is what I wanted to talk about.
be the one that saves me. And after all,
You know, and I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, this is a song I've heard a billion times. We've all heard it a billion times, right? There's nothing new about this song, but I never thought to actually listen to what the harmony's doing right there. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not really conventional. I don't know if I'd call this conventional. Listen to this. notice anything odd about that. Because I'll tell you, we just play 3 chords in this whole thing. And they're not the 3 chords you would expect. It's the D add 9, F sharp minor, A major. That's it, because then we just go back to the F sharp minor before repeating the whole thing over again. That's kind of odd. For the whole chorus to just go around in circles like this. I mean, at least you would have expected... I'm trying to think of like how my brain, my entire life, has heard this chorus. Because I feel like there's been more of a 4-chord pop progression in my brain for my entire life, right? So like... Maybe my brain thought there was an E chord in there, right? Because then we'd have... That would be a much more standard pop chord progression. If it went from the A to an E instead of right back to the F sharp minor. And I almost feel like that's just how my brain, my ear has been hearing this my entire life. Because that would make so much sense if that was how it was played. And that's almost like the more logical thing that your ear wants to hear, but that's not how it goes. I don't think I ever knew that. That F sharp minor chord. I don't know. I didn't expect that. I don't know. Maybe you're all yelling at me going like, yeah, of course that's how, it's always how it's gone. But for some reason, my ear did not expect that. And I thought that was a unique aspect about this song that I never realized. Right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Now, it almost feels unnatural now, the way that it actually goes. Maybe it's a piano thing. I don't know. Maybe it makes more sense on the guitar. It's just like one of those little details about something that is seemingly so simple. But when you look closer, it's so much music, you realize like, man, there's stuff in just about everything that we can gawk at or learn from or discover is maybe a little bit unique and different than we might have expected. And ever since I have been doing this on YouTube, I've discovered so many things like this that I don't think I ever would have given the light of day to. If we date back to my jazz elitist years, I just never would have considered it. Yeah, I grew up with the song, but it was one of those things where I don't look to Oasis and Wonderwall specifically for like harmonic complexity to learn from. But like, my bad. There's definitely cool stuff in here. I just thought that was a fun little realization that I had and I wanted to share it with you. So here's Wonderwall. How dead is that meme? Ultra dead, I guess. But anyways, if you wanted me to go over other Oasis or other things from this era, I grew up with this stuff, man. So like, I'm super down to do that. Just let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks for tuning in to the month of music. We will see you back here tomorrow.